Picture this. Bad news drops. Everyone freezes. They crack a joke. Not because it's funny, because silence feels dangerous. Or someone cancels last minute. Most people feel annoyed. They instantly calculate. Okay, backup plan. Emotional impact, minimal. Moving on. It looks like resilience. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's reflex. When someone goes through prolonged stress, especially early in life, their brain reorganizes around prediction. The amygdala becomes efficient. The prefrontal cortex gets good at scanning. Their system learns. Safety comes from anticipation. So they develop three powerful skills: reading microsignals, regulating other people's emotions, and adapting fast. That's why they can walk into a room and sense tension before anyone speaks. They're not psychic, they're practiced. But here's the catch. A nervous system trained for survival doesn't automatically know when the war is over. So even in calm environments, it keeps scanning. Not loudly, quietly, constantly. And that's why humor becomes armor. Dark humor especially. When you've faced chaos, absurdity becomes obvious. If life can collapse without warning, you either drown in seriousness or you laugh at the absurdity of it all. Laughter creates psychological distance. Distance reduces overwhelm. It's emotional shock absorption. But humor has a shadow. If you can joke about everything, you never have to sit inside anything. You can stay clever instead of vulnerable. And vulnerability is where the old unpredictability lives. People who've endured too much often become hyper-empathetic. They can hear the tremor in your voice, notice the forced smile, decode the heavy silence. Because once upon a time, reading the room wasn't social skill, it was survival. But here's the part that doesn't get romanticized. They are often exhausted. When you are always monitoring emotional temperature, you rarely rest. You become the strong one, the stable one, the one who can handle it. And eventually, no one asks if you need anything, because you never look like you do. Here's the quiet grief underneath all of it. They didn't just survive hard things, they became someone because of them. And sometimes they miss who they might have been. There's a version of them that trusted faster, needed less control, didn't rehearse conversations, didn't scan exits, didn't measure tone shifts like data. That version feels distant, almost imaginary. They don't grieve events, they grieve innocence. The softness that had to harden, the dependence that had to dissolve, the childhood that required competence too early. That grief doesn't look dramatic. It looks like being mature for your age. It looks like independence. It looks like capability. But capability can be a costume stitched from necessity. Notice this pattern. They'll micromanage small details, which mug, which seat, which route home. But when something massive happens, job loss, move, breakup, they're eerily calm. Because big chaos is familiar territory, small control is where they reclaim power. If you can't control the storm, you control the cup. It's not irrational, it's strategic. In relationships, this becomes complicated. They crave depth, but closeness activates alertness. So they oscillate, loyal beyond measure, but slow to depend. Generous with support, but careful with need. They learned early, depending on someone can cost you. So they become self-sufficient. And self-sufficiency is praised until it becomes isolation. Here's the shift that changes everything. Survival traits are not personality, they're adaptations. And adaptations can evolve. Hypervigilance can become discernment. Humor can become choice instead of reflex. Independence can coexist with safe dependence, but only if they consciously update the rulebook. Because the nervous system doesn't retire on its own. It waits for evidence. Evidence that not every silence is dangerous. Not every delay means abandonment. Not every calm moment is the calm before something breaks. That evidence comes slowly, through safe repetition, through relationships that don't punish vulnerability, through moments where nothing bad happens, and the body notices. People who've gone through too much aren't just strong, they're layered. They can hold beauty and brutality in the same sentence. They can laugh at darkness without being consumed by it. But beneath the paradox is something simple. They want rest. Not from life, from vigilance. They want to sit in a room without scanning it, to tell the truth without cushioning it, to be cared for without calculating the cost. And the most powerful transformation isn't becoming tougher. It's allowing softness to return. Not the naive softness of before, but chosen softness, earned softness. The kind that says, I survived because I had to. Now, I can live because I choose to. That's not just resilience. That's integration. And integration is quieter than survival, but infinitely more peaceful.